Hi, Village. It's your girl Narise, back again with another live stream. Back and I'm better, per usual. So, it was a part of my agenda today to get on here and do a little watch me work. But first, I'm going to do something a little different. Now, for those who are new to this page, hi, my name's Narise. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, businesswoman, um, artist, visual artist, creative director. I mean, there's many titles, many hats, as they say. And for those who are returning, welcome back to the village. It's your girl Narise, and we got a bit of work to do. So here's the thing. I know they're trolls, and we don't pay those any mind. So for those who are genuinely here, who want to be here, shout out to y'all. Um, I just got my website back up and running. I know that was a thing that was taking a while. I mean, because your girl's on a budget for the time being, but there's some updates that I needed to make on the website. And, I have to update the live stream schedule that's on there. And I mean, I think that's pretty much like the main thing. So it's not a whole lot that I need to do. So I was going to work on that. And then, bring you guys along for the journey because I am an independent artist. Um, I own my own company. I, do the ins and outs of everything with Neomac Entertainment, which is my label. And for that, I, manage my distribution. I manage myself. I create and control the protection of my intellectual property because as there's been many horror stories, through the years. I just remember growing up hearing about people getting into the music industry and labels like, fucking them over essentially. And I just knew that was not going to be my story. That is not my life. Um, and gratefully, like I've mentioned before, I've come up in an era of, you know, you can be independent, you could be your own boss, you could be your own label owner. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I've done. And so, I used to do these live streams a while ago when I first started live streaming. Sorry, I'm like, gotta get my hair together. But for now, um, but yeah, so I'm switching up some of what I usually do. Um, like I said before, like when I first started live streaming, I was doing the flash drives, which you can now purchase on the website. So we do still have some limited edition flash drives left. We got the pink, the orange, the green of the Divine EP, which is on all DSPs, all streaming platforms. But when I first started live streaming, I was in the process of putting this together. So I showed the process of me getting the EP on there, organizing all the pictures that's on here. What's really special about these guys is that each flash drive has different pictures, so it's not all the same. It's very exclusive, and that's why it's limited edition, as well as the colors. And I have a lyric book on there. I wrote all the lyrics, and I designed the lyric book. There's affirmations on there, so I documented the whole process of me making that, just to kind of bring you guys along the journey of the behind the scenes work of being an independent artist, especially when you spearhead and do everything yourself, until we can build this into a situation where I can hire and afford a team of people that, are dedicated and passionate. Um, and, we also have CDs too. So, yeah, they're all available on the website because the website is up and running right now. But yeah, so I know, like, when I first started doing live streams, I was doing practices just because, hypothetically speaking, if my life were anything like the Truman Show, and if people felt the need to document every moment of my life, I feel like me as an independent artist, as a creative, should be able to document those experiences myself, and build an audience and show my village, which I call my audience, the behind the scenes process of what it takes and what it is to be independent. And my circumstance is quite peculiar, but we do the best that we can with what we deal with. um and in that situation, I was doing practices for a while, but I know that's not the most entertaining thing. So this time around, that's why I wanted to start creating new music. And yeah, so that's why, we have Music Monday, Wave Wednesday, Fire Friday, where I live stream me working on beats, doing vocals, recording, working on new music or samples, or doing covers. That's kind of like what the toss up has been lately. And, and I've been enjoying the process, and I'm sure that there's some folks that's been enjoying this process as well. But for me, you know, there is some work that I have to do now that I have the website back up and running. Because it had been down for a period of time, just because, like, it was an expense that, was just costing a bit. So, yeah, I just have to update it because right now it has like some older projects on there. I've done different things since then. For example, I released my cover of Frank Ocean's Sweet Life on SoundCloud. So, be sure to check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, check in the description. If you're watching on Kick, check in the panels, uh, the links to SoundCloud. And yeah, I was, speaking of SoundCloud, I was checking out my the songs that I have on there, and I think there's some good songs on there. So I often say, like, check out the songs on there. But I was just listening to everything that I had up there, and sonically, I feel like a lot of it is really good. Um, like, I have a cover of Gogina by, well, I've covered several SZA songs because I just feel like she has the best music in terms of like the R&B pop space. Like, she definitely has some of the like best catalogs out there, even though she literally just came out with 2 albums. I mean, I know she's had stuff before then, but those are the two main projects that I stumbled upon. But I did a cover of Gogina. I titled it Gotia. And I often, well, I not often, I think I did a cover of that, like, acoustic. And then I also did there's a track called Without You that's like a remake to not Hiatus Coyote, to a Tribe Called Quest record, Conrad Tokyo, off their last album. And yeah, I was just listening to everything on there, and I was like, wow, okay, these are some like decent records. And through the years, when you're just like creating, doing like one-off records every now and then, you're just doing it for the fun of it, and of course you hope that people find it and support and like the music. And sometimes it's not like I did it with like a project in mind. I was just like, I have this idea. I hear this track. I'm inspired by this. I want to put something together, and then I'll do that. Or like there's a cover, and then I'll do like a visual for it. Like when I did the cover for Cabin Fever by Jaden Smith, or Supermodel by SZA, but I did like a mashup of a old Down to Mars song called Doja that I wrote years ago. And I did like an acoustic version to the guitar that's on Supermodel, and what else is there? There's Good Days. I did a cover of Good Days by SZA. And so, those records are on SoundCloud because I know I had them on YouTube for a while. And then I was like, okay, let's put the audio on SoundCloud. So, yeah, check out the SoundCloud records. And, shout out to the people that's been going on SoundCloud and listening. I've seen like, some of the analytics and stuff like that. And some of the plays have gone up. So, shout out to the folks that's been like really checking out the music. Um, you know, for me, um, like I said, I want to work on the website. Um, and we got an order in. So shout out to the order. Um, yeah, we have an order to fulfill. And, if you want to support an independent up and coming artist, I do have, like I said, the EP, the CDs, the flash drives, which I still have right here. Check out the flash drives. I made this and put this together with love. Um, and what else? There's the digital download of the Divine EP. And there's merchandise. I have hats, hoodies, a mug. Um, and what else? There's a bunch of stuff there. And then like spiritual supplies like sage and abalone shells. So yeah, and that's what I gotta put together. So yeah, and you know what? And I'll just say like, I understand the circumstances of my life. And like I say in referencing Truman, you know, people can have a perspective of you because of the lens placed on you and what the story that they want to tell of you and what they want, the narrative that they want to create around your life. And sometimes it's like quite difficult, um, to deal with that. And then, of course, by the time you get around to recognizing that certain things aren't as they seem, and you feel like, because it's only fair that you have a right to speak your truth and share your experience. People are already, like I say, brainwashed and, consumed by their perspectives. And then, there's some people that are intuitive and wise enough to wake up and realize, like, yeah, you know what? There's some questions that are worthy of being asked. And, why feel the need to silence someone for a long period of time? And why guilt trip somebody for participating in things that were intentionally manipulated for them to do? You know, and I speak to those experiences in a lot of the songs that I've been working on, just because that's something that I've had to deal with, just in, just like falling out with people in my life and just like certain scenarios and traumatic moments like resurfacing. And, and for me, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like very corny. Like the whole circumstance of it all is very whack. To say the absolute least, But I mean, these are the circumstances, these are the cards that are dealt. Gotta make the best of the hand with what I got. So that's why I keep pushing and, telling my story, telling my truth, sharing my experience, and, and speaking up for myself. Because if not me, then who? Because I don't see anybody else really doing that. And if they do, it's really in a way to like play both sides and just like go along with the narrative and paint a picture for like likes and clicks and all those things. I mean, well, I can't really say that. There have been some folks that like do challenge the status quo and do challenge like the things that are made for us to believe. And I commend those folks, but it's not enough of that. But yeah, so, and I say that to say I know that there's times where people will act like they're supporting you and really just trying to like bait you or like set you up or make you look bad and all these things. Um, like for example, like with 50 Cent and Ja Rule, like their ongoing beef, like how 50 bought out like hella tickets just to be like the only one sitting in the stands during a Ja Rule show, just like being petty and childish. And like even the situation with Rick Ross. Now I don't know if that was strategically planned by the people who booked the venue, but I mean for those who don't know, um Rick Ross, he had a show in Canada. They played Not Like Us, and Canadians didn't take too kindly to that. So, they got into like a little scuffle out there. And I've seen somebody say like there's been sometimes there'll be situations and circumstances where people will intentionally book you just to like set you up, essentially. And I have to be wary of those things just because I know that there's people who fake like they support me. Some people that pop on this live stream, but it's really the ops watching because that's what they do all day. Copy your moves and watch. But don't want to give you the credit. But it is what it is. But I share that to say, keep your discernment up and peep the vibes. Peep when it's genuine and when it's not. Because, people will act genuine just to get close to you. And really, there's ulterior motives. And then there's circumstances and situations where people are genuine, where they really want to see the best for you, where they really believe in you, and they care about what you have to say. And they think, situations around your life might not be fair. And, speak up and support. I don't see enough of that, but I know that that exists. I know that's out in the world. Just because I know there's people who are smart with common sense, even though common sense doesn't seem to be so common these days. But, there's always a pendulum swing. All right. So, I think the main thing that I want to change are like these like cover pictures. I mean, it's really not much to change for real. I think instead of having good days, I mainly have good days on here for like aesthetics, just because I really love the photo shoot and the visuals from that cover. But I think we're just gonna update this to the Frank Ocean, and then have it be a link to SoundCloud, because that's pretty much where I've been like promoting for now. I'm like, mind you, I haven't been on Squarespace in a minute, so bear with me. I'm doing the best that I can. Okay, let's upload a new file. Where is... Wait, did I save that cover somewhere? All right, here we go. Okay, some downloads. Okay, maybe if I like zoom it in a little bit. Only things like if I expand it. I know if I like stretching it, but it should be fine. It should be fine. Actually, that's not where I'm trying to go. Um, which email did I have on here? I think it might have been this one. Oh, goodness. All right. I don't know. Is there a limit to uploads? Oh, that's crazy. All right, we're at 10 plays. I mean, some of this was probably me earlier. But we're going to copy this link, bring it on back here, edit. Okay, let's go back. All right, so then we got the Sweet Life Divine EP. Okay. I feel like I probably have to take a new picture now that I think about it. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. Contents. All right. I'm like, I don't know what to call this, but oh, excuse me. I was vocal practice Wednesday. That's right. Let's see, music. Monday. Wave. Wednesday. Okay. Live. Okay, there we go. link up here. I mean, yeah, I should probably put the YouTube link. I mean, I feel like that's where a lot of my views come from. I mean, there's people that watch on Kick too. Okay, I'll probably change this picture. I really like the vibe of this. I think I'll probably just make this. I'll just take that off for now. And I'll probably take Without You off too. Actually, I feel like Divine EP should probably be the first thing up here. Okay. I think that's fine for now. All right, let's save. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to do for now. But this is what my website looks like. Make sure you guys join the email. You know, I think I'll probably condense this. Just to make it simpler. Just join the village. Okay, my newsletter was monthly, but we'll just say newsletter. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much that. Okay, let me just check the other slides. We got a quick and cute bio for more info on me, from me. Music, this is where all the links are. We got a virtual tip jar on here, which is just like my Cash App info. I'm like, where's the visual page? Okay, so visuals, like my most recent visual projects. Yeah, this was kind of like my first directed project. Did Red Room. I Want You Around. Everybody mad. They really do be mad. The merch campaign. So yeah, like I said, in one of the flash drives, how there's like a visual project on there. It's this campaign video where I styled different looks. Yeah, so you can click the link in the video. It's on there. But yeah, I creative directed, styled it. I did the set design, the lighting. I directed it, edited, did a voiceover, the voice, vocal arrangement, wrote the song, engineered the vocals, produced the beat, performed it. Just some of the things that I've done. But yeah, so there's that in terms of visuals, and then the shop. We've got, there's the video here, and then these are some of the stuff that I have. So there's the Divine EP, digital download. We have the Divine CD, which I've shown you here. Right now I have 2 left, so you might want to copy yours before it sells out. So, they come in this really cute metallic bag that I put together myself. There's the limited edition flash drive, like I've shown you guys before. I got a few left. The digital download for the EP, the single Aloe. We have Just Wanna. And then also I have like some spiritual supplies. I got a lion shell, Avalon shell, Palo Santo, sage. I have different sizes of the sage. The divine mug. We got the hat, which I modeled and styled all the looks. We got a beanie. We got the dad cap. And we have the hoodie. And the hoodie also comes in white too. I believe the hats come in white as well. I just didn't model a campaign styling it. I know it is. But yes, it also comes in white. Even though I know you trolling, but much love and light to you anyway. So yeah, this is what's available on the website. And if you want to support your girl, it's available. The website is finally up and running, as you can see. And then I think I have like a contact page for bookings, collaboration, songwriting, and such. And then I have my modeling portfolio, just because at one point I was submitting to some agencies. But yeah, here's like a quick portfolio of like photo shoots that I put together. I mean, I know general public probably doesn't have access to this, You'll need a password for it. But these are some of the photo shoots that I put together myself, you know, where I've styled myself. I took the pictures, edited the pictures. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the website. Everything is updated, up and running. So, all right. But yeah, make sure y'all check out my SoundCloud, which I think that's what I did have up here. I'll keep that up on the screen. Okay, but yeah, this is my SoundCloud. Make sure y'all check this out. The link is in the description if you're watching on YouTube. And like I said, I just uploaded a cover of Sweet Life by Frank Ocean. I have a song called Without You that I wrote to a Tribe Called Quest beat. There's Down to Mars EP up there. Um, my cover of Supermodel and Doja, which is a song that I originally wrote while I was in Down to Mars, but then I did like a mashup cover, a mashup with the Supermodel cover. There's Cabin Fever, Jaden Smith cover, Good Days by SZA, Pull Up On You by Victoria Monet, and it's something that my brother and I collabed with like years ago, like 2020 during COVID, like at the height of COVID when everything started. She put out this challenge where she dropped like a acapella version of her verse that she wrote, and she did like a challenge where if anybody could like make a beat to it, then make the beat. So my brother made the beat, and him and I both sang on this record. So yeah, that was something that we did. Now I don't have Rum Shot available because I'm not crazy about that cover, but When I Told You I Love You, that's a Lion Babe cover. Now I will say I'm not crazy about like the production. This is when I first like got back into okay, shout out to person who just liked Sweet Life. But this is when I first got into making my own beats. And so I wanted to do a cover, and I don't think there was an instrumental for it. So I was challenging myself to make my own like cover beats, which I mean they weren't all that great back then. I'm a lot better now. Um but I do like my vocals on this record. So, you could check that out. It's a Lion Babe cover. The song that I wrote, Misery, there was like this free beat online that I wrote to, and I've performed this song a few times on here on live stream. It's just about like my life situation to a degree at the time, and just feeling like, like the lyrics say, I don't know what you want from me, but when I'm around you, I feel misery. So I'll just keep my resistance and send love like long distance, or send Reiki. No, send my love like Reiki long distance. That's the lyric. And, it was just about a time in my life where I was just going through it, and just having like rough situations with friends of mine, and just different relationships in my life, and just not knowing what the problem was, not knowing what the issue was, and wanting to fix the issue, wanting to figure out what it was, but dealing with people that weren't being honest with me and being clear about whatever the issue was. And I kind of make a reference to the Matrix of just feeling like I was dealing with a bunch of agents. And I'm just like, okay, reaching out for help, hoping that someone could be like honest with me, be a true friend, or like help. And there comes a part in the lyric where I'm like, waiting for a download from spirit guides to like let me know which way to go. Um, but then also wanting to get to a point where I could fend for myself and I could speak up and defend myself. Um, kind of like Trinity. Even though Trinity was a part of a team, she was badass. And there's times where she would get into the Matrix by herself and, get shit done. And, that's why I say I learned to fend for myself on my Trinity. But yeah, that's Misery. Then I have Insecurities that I did. It's another remake to Mac Miller's Wings. Like I really love the beat to that record, and I just kept like coming up with my own lyrics. And it's like more of a sexy, sensual kind of vibe. Just about a situationship that I had years ago. Um, of like feeling chemistry between somebody and knowing that there's like a sexual connection, but then also like, okay, but you're unsure because they give you mixed signals. And Insecurities was just kind of like speaking to that, like having insecurities within myself or just insecurities about the relationship. But I also really love my vocal approach to this. And I remember enjoying the process, like recording it and adding the harmonies and stuff like that. Now I was getting into like my Janet bag just a bit, like getting real sexy, which I don't really do a lot. Um, and that's something that I thought about exploring. I'm like not in that mode right now. Like I'm really in my inspirational, motivational, speak my truth, talk my shit kind of bag right now because I feel like there's a lot I've been wanting to say and haven't had a chance to just because I've intentionally been like holding back on creating just because I wanted to be in a safer environment and safer space before I did that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm, just for the sake of like finances, I was trying to work, figure out ways to work a job. Couldn't figure out getting a job. I did start booking some shows last year. I was doing covers like at a nursing home or several different nursing homes. And yeah, it was just it didn't go anywhere, and I got to a space where I was like, okay, I do want to like raise my price a bit because I know like the work and energy and effort and then me investing in the equipment takes a lot. So what I wanted to do was um lean more into my original music. And then when at the time I was primarily performing songs off of the Divine EP, which are songs that I love. I still enjoy those songs, but it wasn't like what I've been feeling lately. Just with everything that's been going on in my life, just constantly feeling misunderstood, constantly feeling like attacked and unheard, even though so many people invest so much time into being in my business, but don't care to hear my perspective, don't care to hear my experience. And then even acknowledge that a lot of the experiences that I have that caused me to fall out with people were intentionally set up to be that way. And so, I've just had a lot of different feelings around those kind of emotions. And I know like my life isn't the most relatable thing, but the feelings of betrayal, the feelings of hope, the feelings of wanting to fight for your dreams, the feelings of, depression and not wanting to be here anymore are very real feelings that a lot of people feel in the world. And I want to use my artistry to express that because I felt all of those things. And so that's why I've been writing these songs that I have lately. And, and I did it in a space of like not caring what anybody has to like feel about it, because I know sometimes the truth is uncomfortable and it can hurt, especially when there's a certain narrative that's been propped up for years at a time. And, and I felt intentionally silenced for a long time. And now that I feel like, okay, you know what? I'm going to say what the fuck I need to say. I'm going to share my truth and share my story because it's unfair to have a narrative created around you and not be in a space where you can at least speak for yourself. and say, okay, no, that's not how that happened, or no, yeah, this happened, but this is the context of what the situation was. And if we're going to talk about it, let's really talk about it and hold everybody accountable, you know. And then slowly but surely, like, just discovering different things in my life and realizing like certain people that I thought were like friends to me were not. And certain situations where people were intentionally like influencing me to do stuff at my own detriment rather than be honest with me and hold me accountable. Because, you know, people who hold you accountable have your best interest at heart usually, if they do it from a space of constructive criticism rather than just like trying to be shady and tear you down. And, you know, I realized I didn't have that in my life, and I wanted to write songs about that. So that's why I've been writing, you know, songs like Bringing Down the House. It's a house beat, but I'm talking about like, you know, just dealing with spiritual warfare and people trying to do, you know, witchcraft on you and trying to control your life and control your thoughts. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, fuck all the bullying y'all do, you know. And yeah, and I know that's a specific experience, but that's also stuff that people go through. It's not talked about a lot. It's a taboo, but it's real. Like, spiritual warfare is a real thing. And, you know, and manipulation is a real thing too. And, you know, there's people who deal with being bullied. There's people who deal with being ostracized and like taunted and harassed. And I speak to that, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure, those are the experience, but fuck that. You know, don't let them, you know, make sure they stay out your brain, essentially. Um, so, you know, that's why I wanted to write songs about that. But, you know, just to conclude what I have here, I did come out, I realized that this is somewhat of an EP. Um, but I mean, it was literally only 2 songs. I think there was another record on here. I know I did a cover of Jill Scott's Getting in the Way, but for copyright reasons, it didn't stay up here. But I did a cover of Go Gina by SZA, but I entitled it Go Tia and changed some of the lyrics, which I tend to do when I do covers. And then I also did Bryson Tiller's Don't. Um, and yeah, so like that's on here. And I was listening to this earlier today and I was like, you know what? I really enjoy all of these songs. Um, like, I think I did a good job with like the audio, the harmonies, the vocals, even like rewriting certain sections. I was like, there's some solid stuff on here. And I realized like I don't promote my SoundCloud enough. So that's kind of what I'm doing now with Sweet Life. And yeah, you know, that's what that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, so check out the SoundCloud. Make sure you follow. Make sure you listen to the records. You know, give it some a like, a comment, a share, and yeah, that's what's on my SoundCloud. Like, I have quite a bit of music on here, and then also when it comes to my like what I have on Spotify, like what's actually available on streaming platforms. I'm like, let me look up my artist page. I know there's not a whole lot of views on there, but I mean, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, run that up. All right, so I'm gonna replace this screen. But yeah, so this is my official Spotify page. Now let's do that. Okay, that's already as. Um, but yeah, so this is my official page. Shout out to the 6 monthly listeners. We can run that up to 600. Um, and the project that I put out, Divine, that's my official EP. Um, I have original records here. Of course, it's a Neomac Entertainment release, publishing and copywritten. Um, yeah, so I have Aloe. Um, we got Aloe on there, Alumni, Just Wanna, Divine, and Run. And most of these are like love songs in a way. Oh, where is the record? What just happened? See, always trying to stop my greatness, but I'm too great for you to stop, honey. All right, hold on. Let's try something here. I'm like, restream, y'all tried it. All right, now we back and we better. But yeah, so uh this is my project, Divine, that's on all streaming platforms. And I often say, like, you know, of course, I would be grateful for anyone like purchasing the music, purchasing the physical copies or the digital download on my website, Narisse.com. Um, but, I would say listen to the music first, check it out, really get a perspective of it, your own point of view, your own perspective, listen to it, check, you know, which songs are your favorite. And if you enjoy the project, then you can purchase a physical copy or a digital download on Narisse.com. I put a lot of time, energy, and love into what I do. I'm intentional about my art, despite what anybody has to say about me or my work or whatever. I know that there's important records that inspired me, that saved my life, and even just creating art helped save my life. And I know the power of music is real, and if there's anything that I can do with my voice, with my platform, I want to inspire folks and encourage people to know that their life is worth living regardless of what anybody has to say. And if you're dealing with bullies, naysayers, if you deal with the experience of like being disappointed by your heroes, or just people treating you less than you deserve, and your heart, your intention, who you are, your experiences, and there's just people who just don't see you the way you see yourself, or maybe you don't see yourself the way you should see yourself, which is like the truth of the beauty in you and what makes you great. I want to make songs that inspire people to see that within themselves and not let the perspectives or opinions or the shade or the disses from anybody shake who they are and shake their spirit. And it's like, okay, yeah, okay, it could be like the most powerful people or the most popular people trying to shit on you. And it's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm here. I'm a child of God. I'm a good person. I try to give back as much as I can. I look out for folks. I'm a girl's girl. I ain't got a hair bone in my body. I'm really the type of person that want to see people win, and I support people the way I want to be supported. Always have, always will be. And if you want to tell my story, tell that part of my story. you know but I don't rely on people to tell my story. I tell my own story, especially through the music. So you know I just want to share and express that. But yeah, so um that's where my music is on Spotify. I mean, I'm sure it's on Apple Music too. Let me try to look it up and just show y'all, just in case you look me up and I know there's other options that pop up that's not me. um Okay, so this is my Apple Music page. My Just Wanna video is on here. But yeah, the Divine EP. I mean, and Just Wanna and Aloe are singles that are on this project. So yeah, but Divine EP is on Apple Music. Anywhere you primarily stream music, it's on there. Make sure you check it out. You know, and I appreciate any support that I get. I know, there's trolls, there's people who, as Joe Budden would say, hate watch. Um, there's people who support watch. There's people who watch the bite. Whatever. Um, but while I'm here, I want to say something of value and say something that matters. And hopefully, like I say, inspire, uplift, empower, make you feel love, make you feel loved, make you feel seen and heard. Or maybe, you feel like, man, fuck these people. And, fuck these bullies. I'm going to do my own thing. Fuck these people that's trying to make me feel like my life ain't worth living. Like, nah, I'm here to stay. Fuck any agenda of the enemy, anybody working against me, any ill will towards me. I rebuke it in the name of God, because I'm a child of God and I have a right to be here. And I know that while I'm here, I care to do good and have and will continue to do so. Um, so, and anybody trying to stifle you, wish ill will against you, trying to hate on you, all that low vibrational energy will just go back to whoever it had, wherever it started. You know what I mean? And I've always been one to be accountable. I know I ain't perfect. I know there's mistakes that I made, and I know there's mistakes that I haven't made. And regardless of that, like, I know I oftentimes choose to be the bigger person. And, that's not always popular. It's not popular to be the biggest person sometimes. They say go high, we go high when they go low. People love the low. People are entertained by the low. They love the fight. They love the drama. They love the hate. They love the attack. They love the disses. They love all of that shit. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not stooping down to your level, respectfully. But, I will speak my truth. I will share my truth through my work and my art. I will use my voice and my words and my music to inspire love and inspire power and strength in the people who listen to it and who need it. So, you know, um, that concludes this live stream. I really just wanted to update my website real quick and, tweak the info that I had on there because I just put it back up. I know I have an order to fulfill, so I'll probably end up doing that. Um, you know, Regardless of intention, it'd be wrong for me to assume the worst. But I am realistic and I understand, haters are real and haters will take the time to purchase stuff on your website with low vibrational intentions. But, because I'm somebody with positive intentions, I'll send love and light anyway, whether it's from the north to the south, from the east to the west, wherever you are, whatever direction, I'll send my love and light to you. And hopefully people actually genuinely use the stuff that I will supply them with, because that's what it's for. It's helped me in spiritual warfare. And I know that it can be of assistance to other people. I mean, that's what's kept me going on for so long. Like, I could have been like depressed and like, I could have continued to be depressed and anxious and all those things, but I'm not, and I know some people would try to take credit for like, controlling the things that you watch and what you do and all these things. And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to take the credit for that, take the credit for the bad too, because I've dealt with people trying to manipulate me and gaslight me and, try to control where I go, what I say. Um, but it's like, all right, cool. If you want to take that credit, if you want to take the credit for being manipulative and, pulling strings, take all that credit. Take all that credit, even for the bad. And, a lot of times people will fool you into trying to justify manipulative, narcissistic, abusive tactics and say, oh, because this person did this way back when, you know, this justifies me into spiritually attacking them and torturing them and ruining their reputation and slandering their name and trying to gatekeep them and create roadblocks from them to get anywhere of a higher status. But it's like, okay, if you got all that power, all that, cachet to do all that, own that shit for the negative too. And I say that just because I know spiritual warfare is real. And I know there's been times in my life where people have done, spiritual work to influence, like in my early 20s, I was like dating and stuff like that. And, as millennials would call like a hoe phase or whatever. And it's like, okay, did that. I mean, I've been celibate for like almost 5 years now. Like, anybody trying to insinuate any whorish activities is like, you're lying to yourself because I haven't been with anybody in years. But during a time when I was dating, which most young 20-something-year-olds do when you're like hot on the scene, and you're going to the clubs, you're going to the bar, you outside, people date. That's what they do. And I realized I had people intentionally like egging that behavior and being like, oh yeah, girl, go ahead and do that, and then like turn around and try to slut shame me, you know and it's just like, it's shit like that. Or people, I've seen like people do spell work intentionally to try to like influence my sex drive and my like sexual behavior. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, so this probably been here for a while. It's probably been in the works for a long time. And I would explain a lot of stuff that's like happened like earlier on in my life. And you know, just recognizing those things now as an adult, knowing what I know now, just being on a spiritual journey, regaining my power, fighting for my voice, fighting for, my existence and what I have to say, and learning about, esoteric studies and learning about, you know, um, just evolving spiritually, learning symbolism, learning about numerology, learning about energy, chakra points, manipulation tactics, psychological warfare, understanding your psyche and the things that you see, hear, and smell and speak. Like those are gateways to your mind, and people knowing different tactics to pull the strings and manipulate you in very subtle ways. Learning about those things and then like rethinking about certain events and certain occurrences that's happened in my life. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. This has been going on for a very long time. Okay. In certain relationships with people that I've known, some all my life, some for many years. And, just recognizing those things. And yeah, it's a wild world out here. But I do speak to that in my music a little bit. Um and that's why in a song like Bringing Down the House, you know, fuck all the voodoo they do. Fuck that shit. And again, that's not an attack on people um who practice voodoo, because I don't think all witchcraft is bad. I don't think all energy work is bad. Just like anything, there's good and darkness. There's good songs, there's bad songs. There's polarity with everything. And I think with energy work and spirituality, there can be a positive aspect to it, and then there could be a negative. And I think we're in a day and age where we're making it socially acceptable to embrace the negative rather than highlight the positive, and how we can heal one another, and how we can empower one another, and how we can correct different things, especially when, you know, things could have been corrected. And I think back to moments in my life where I was like, you know, I wish I had the confidence that I had today. I wish I had the nerve to speak up for myself like I do today. I wish I had people that was willing to teach me and mentor me and lead and guide me and correct me rather than, you know, just like leave me out for the wolves and see that there's no value in my well-being. Um and at the same time, like, I get life isn't fair and we all get dealt a hand of cards that can be either really good or really shitty, but it's just how you play that motherfucker, and you got to make it smooth for you. And so that's pretty much how I try to approach life and how I try to look at different scenarios and circumstances. And I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful for the good things. I don't take the good things for granted. I'm grateful. But there are some shitty cards in this fucking hand. I will say that. But you know what? I will play this thing the best that I can with what I got, with the lack of resources, with the lack of support, with the lack of guidance and mentorship, and with the lack of understanding, with, you know, dealing with bullies and slander and, you know, being doxxed online and all those things, and just having a unfair disadvantage because, you know, there were certain people and powers that be that were in control of my life at a time where I didn't have control. You know, it's like people who were born into like dysfunctional families, and if you're a kid, these are the people that you have to rely on. You know, you can't pick your family, you're just born into that shit. And, you know, we all go through those things where, you know, in our childhood, maybe we would have wanted things to be a little bit different. Now that we're adults and we can have hindsight to look back and say, damn, okay, I wish that I had somebody teach me this earlier. Or I wish I had somebody school me here, or, you know, give me the right tools or teach me how to navigate certain spaces. But, you know, that's the thing about life. And you know, I just recently like got back into like astrology, and I had seen this post that Kalani did about like a Saturn return. And essentially it's when your Saturn, I mean, it happens when you're about like either anywhere between like, they say like 27 to like 30 or 31, because it takes about 30 years for Saturn to revolve around the sun. So wherever Saturn was when you were born, by the time you're like in your 30s, Saturn would have returned back to where um where it was during that time. And of course it takes time to revolve. So that's why they say it like within those few years that Saturn would be in that same place in your birth chart. And so I feel like that's like where I'm at right now, because I'm like at the start of that. And you know, I feel like circumstances around my life looks wild. um but at the same time, like, I've come so far, I've evolved so much, I've grown so much, I've learned so much. Excuse me. I'm a lot more courageous and more confident in who I am, and to a point where like I don't care who the fuck you are. You can never make me hate myself. You can never make me doubt who I am, and you can never tell me who I am. Period. You just can't do it. You know, like, even at the worst of me, you know, or what's perceivably the worst of me, which I can rebuke, but whatever. Um, I can still never hate myself just because I know who I am. I know me at my truest nature. And I know I'm someone that really cares, and I mean well. And that shows in my actions more times than not. And even when I get things wrong, I do my best to make it right. because I feel like that's just what you're supposed to do. And I know that as people, it's easy to blame and attack people. And of course, nobody wants to like give grace, but people will be quick to put you in situations to compromise, your integrity or your standing or your belief within yourself. But I'm so grateful that I'm in a space where that shit just does not work for me. Like, you cannot make me doubt myself, hate myself, or any of those things. And that's not easy to come by. There's a lot of people that like really care about what people think about them and will shift their life around based on the opinions of others, especially people that you respect, and probably people who like mean well and have your best interest at heart. Like, you care about those opinions. But that, like, I feel like there has to be an aspect to you where even with those opinions, you still know who you are, and you don't let those people tell you who you are and try to dictate what you should do with your life and whether you're worthy of, success, worthy of love, worthy of abundance. You know, no one should have that power over your life. That's a power that you should have for yourself. So, yeah, I can ramble on. I can go on and on. But I didn't want to be on here too late. So shout out to the two folks that left. I appreciate that because I did want to conclude this live stream. So, but yeah, I hope that inspires somebody in the world. Don't let nobody try to tell you who the fuck you are. Be your own hero, be your own savior. And regardless of the cards that's dealt, try to play that shit as smooth as possible. And if you don't got nobody to teach you how to play the game, give yourself grace because you're trying to figure it out the hard way. And there might have been people in your life intentionally telling you incorrect instructions and incorrect rules to make you look like a joker, and intentionally try to make you look like a joker to, you know, hold themselves up to a higher esteem and a higher pedestal in a public perspective and a public eye. And, if that's something that you've dealt with, give yourself some grace. I know there's many times where I've had missteps and people's opinions about it. And, people probably think like, oh, I'm an awful person because I did this and did that and did this. And it's like, well, I didn't have nobody teaching me no better. I had people intentionally setting me up to fail. And I know I'm just trying my best out here, and I'm just trying to like do good. I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying to defend myself. I'm trying to stand up for myself and also stand up for others that may feel like they have nobody to stand up for them. And yeah, sure, I make mistakes. Yeah, sure, I have missteps. Yeah, sure, with a lot of peer pressure, it's easy to fall into doing some shit that you really don't even want to do. But because people are pressuring you, sometimes you feel like, all right, just to get these motherfuckers off my back, maybe I got to do this. And then whole time you realize that, people would just played you into making you look a certain way or just to drain your energy. But it's like, well, damn, like when I was standing up for myself and when I stood my ground and I wasn't going for it, nobody was celebrating me then. But as soon as I like do something in hopes that it would like alleviate the situation, then it's like, oh, you a clown, you fell for this and that. But it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. When you do the right thing, when you move with integrity, when you don't fall for the bullshit, when you have the discernment to peep people's moves before it happens, which has been happening a lot for me today, in point. But I'm like, yeah, I see the shit from a mile away. Like I know the play, you know what I mean? But I know it's me against whoever the fuck. And yeah, sure, it might seem like a fumble, but it's like, okay, clearly there's, things in place to go against anything that I try to do to progress myself. So I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to give myself compassion. I'm going to give myself the pat on the back and be my own cheerleader, because if not me, then who? And, I don't want to rely on somebody else for that. I mean, if it's there, I appreciate it. I'm not going to take it for granted. But you have to be your own savior. You have to be your own cheerleader. You can't always rely on people to do that for you, because more times than not, you'll have to deal with people that'll act like they support you, but then don't really, or people who intentionally try to put things in your way to set you up to fail, and then when those moments happen, it's like, all right, shit, whatever. All right. But I know I'm still dope though. I know I'm still a child of God. I know I'm still great at what I do. And there's not a person on this planet that can make me think otherwise about that. Period. So, with me saying that, I hope that other people feel inspired and know that regardless of anybody trying to make you feel like, oh, you're not good enough, or if you've had many missteps in your life and situations that you wish you could have did differently, or you wish you would have handled a circumstance better, whatever, it happened. So fucking be it. But do better next time. Look at the situation and figure out how you're going to learn from it. You know, don't let that determine who you are or make you feel like any less than who you are, There's already enough of that in the world. There's already enough of people who will go out of their way to try to make you feel like you're not a great person and not that you're not good at what you do. And really fuck those people. Because they're probably dealing with their own insecurities. They're probably dealing with their own situations and circumstances, and trying to make you feel small is something that they do to feel better about themselves. And they can try to justify it however they want and say, oh, this person did this, so this is why I'm, whatever, I'm going to do this and make them feel away. But really, it's just an ego trip. And it's really just circumstances to make people feel better about themselves. But regardless of that, you should always feel good about who you are, especially if you know you're a positive person. You put positive energy out into the world. And if, you've messed up in certain spaces where you didn't have any guidance or people weren't clear about the instructions. Like, I think back to this experience where I was at work, and I know, like, I'm a hard worker and I go above and beyond. And once I know how to do something, I do it well. And if not that, I'll come up with a better system or strategy to make it better and make it more conducive and efficient for everybody, because that's just naturally how I am. That's naturally how I work. And anybody that's worked with me, if they're being honest, can speak to that in any workspace. And I know that there were certain work situations where, like, people would, like, send me on dummy missions, and knowing that the mission is fucked, but, like, intentionally try to get me to do something. And then when I realize, like, okay, this isn't working, then it's like, oh, but you're not doing it right, and this and that. I'm like, there is no way to do this right. The whole point is just to get you to do it knowing that the shit is fucked up. And in those situations, I know now to not be hard on myself, because I'm like, the strings were being pulled before I was even aware of anything. And here I am, me being who I am, the positive person, really trying to do good, trying to help somebody out, trying to do the right thing, trying to go above and beyond, trying to, make sure when I show up, I'm there early, I'm there, working the whole time. There's rarely a moment where, I'm really not doing anything. The only time in, like, workspaces where I might not have been as productive is if I'm working with, like, somebody I was cool with and we're, like, talking and catching up and having a good time. But for the most part, like, I try my best to be productive and proactive. But you have to be in the right space though, because certain spaces are betting on, making you look like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. This person is lazy. This person is that. And in those experiences, I was just like, you know what? I see the play here, and it's just not going to work on me, because I know who I am, and you can never tell me who I am. You may try, and it may take a lot of energy and time and, planning and money and all those things to try to create environments to push certain things. But all in all, if it was a fair, you know, scenario, you can't tell me who the fuck I am. And you can't make me do something that I wouldn't do. So don't let nobody tell you who you are. And don't let nobody try to make you do something you don't want to do. Think about it, pray on it, speak to your most high, whoever that is, and be in alignment. With that said, I'm going to conclude this live stream. Um, thank you for those who stopped by. Like I said, check out the EP, check out the SoundCloud. Um, I got some dope stuff on there, and I'm gonna do something pretty pretty cool with SoundCloud soon. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post about it on YouTube, and yeah, and then on like TikTok too. But yeah, Stream Divine EP is on all streaming platforms like I just showed y'all. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on all the good things, all the wherever you stream your music is on there. And if you like it, you check it out. Make sure if you really want to genuinely support your girl, we got CDs and we got physical CDs for those who got CD players or you just like to collect CDs. And then we got flash drives for your computers. It's just easier to collect content that way. But yeah, we got the flash drives and we got the CDs. Make sure you check out NarisseM to purchase that. And I guess I'll share the website just so y'all see it. But yeah, that's the website, NarisseM. Make your order. Check out SoundCloud. And yeah, I appreciate the support in advance. Thank you very much. And I will catch y'all later. Actually, hold on. I think there's one more thing that I wanted to show you guys before we conclude this. But yes, this is the website. Okay, so yeah, we did just update this. I gotta change the picture, but actually, hold on. No, this isn't the updated website. See, I was like, okay, I knew that there was something I needed to. There we go. All right, so we got the EP link on here. So there's the links to the streaming platforms where the EP is. Even though I just showed y'all Sweet Life cover on SoundCloud. Check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're watching on Kick, it's in the panels. The live stream schedule. We got an updated schedule now. Like y'all already know, Music Monday, Wave Wednesday, Fire Friday. They're our usual times. Every now and then you might catch me like today, just, live streaming. And Tuesdays might be a Tone Tuesday. I'm not going to set that in stone just yet, but, I'll post about it on YouTube, if anything. But 7 p.m. Eastern time, I might live stream a little bit earlier just because I know I got a lot of following from South Africa, even though that's on a different platform. But so what? We could transmute them over here, and, future me that's already monetized on these platforms appreciates my following from all over the world. But yeah, so we, there's some folks from South Africa. So I know, like, in consideration of their time, I might live stream a little bit early, but for the most part, on here, like 7 o'clock, 7:30, if I'm late, it's because I'm, beating bitches with bobbing bitches with beats. being bitches with bops. Um, both, one or the other. But nah, like, like I said, spiritual warfare is a real thing, and dealing with that, and also like just being living in my greatness. um, so yeah, there's that as well, and what else? Um, then there's like the physical copies, like I just showed y'all, the flash drives, and then the spiritual supplies. We got Sage and Avalon shells. So y'all can stop over there, make an order, or if you want to donate to your girl, this is my lovely Cash App title. I know the ops be donating, but if you're a genuine supporter, you could donate too. I appreciate that. Don't let these people try to scare you out of your true emotions. It'd be some BS. And, like I said, we're in a day and age where we're making black magic and spiritual abuse a cultural norm. And, under legitimate circumstances, I can understand the justifications, but the justifications aren't legitimate. So, hence the heavy agenda to silence and curate narratives. So, yeah. But people with the eye to see through that, thank you. I appreciate y'all. I know, like I say, common sense isn't all that common. But, you know, what can you do? Try to enlighten and awaken and inform the people. So, um, yeah. All right. That's all my promotionals. That's all my TED Talks. Thank you all for being a part of the live stream, and I will catch y'all later. Much love to y'all, village. Have a blessed